So welcome back to the Blue Podcast. This is the Club World Cup show, and I'm here with Lloyd, Ronnie, and Matt. And we're just going to kind of jump into it because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So we'll start off with Real Madrid. So last Thursday was 1-1 with Al Hilal. Absolute disaster class from Trent.
Yeah, they should be. Yeah, 100%. I mean, they should be beating Al Hilal. I saw that. Was it Bunu? Was it in this game to save the late penalty? I believe it was.
Yeah, good game.
Really good save. He's had a really good start to the tournament. But yeah, Trent getting hooked after, was it 65
He
minutes?
lasted 60.
Looks like you take great pride in saying that.
No,
Great joy.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. Like, if he doesn't do well, for me, again, it's not the end of the world. But, like, yeah, I mean, for Liverpool fans that don't want him to do well, it's been a great start.
I keep seeing
he's
these
not
hate
done very well
watches
at all.
on like X. I keep just seeing all these posts, like people making a list of every single mistake he makes in a match.
Yeah, I know. I
To
mean,
be fair, the
I don't
whole
know.
Real Madrid squad was poor.
Yes.
Like, if you watch the game, Al Hilal absolutely...
It's a culture shift, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we'll get onto with like a lot of like South American teams, but even with like Saudi Arabian teams, I feel like the Saudi Arabian leagues look down upon for quality, and they're kind of known for bringing in European players. But you can tell that they still have quality. The way they actually pass the ball around Real Madrid, they opened them up completely, and probably did deserve to win that game. To be fair, the goal from Real Madrid was pretty lucky.
Yeah,
because kind of switched off for a bit. But as I said, there's so much to talk about. I kind of want to jump on to the next game we're going to talk about, which is Inter Miami beating Porto.
Oh, Lionel Messi.
Say, what a free
what
kick.
a man. The GOAT.
What a free kick.
Goal. What a finish.
He's the best of all time.
Yeah.
I feel like there's two sides to this, because there's the side of, Messi and everything. But I kind of just want to talk about Porto for a minute.
They should be doing better than they are. Absolutely.
They drew 4-4 with Al Ali the other day, which they should be beating, really.
Yeah, let's be real
to
here.
them. They're a good team, but they should be beating them. And same with Inter Miami. Inter Miami shouldn't...
No.
I can understand a draw,
They've
but...
got some good players, but they've not got a good enough team to be beating the likes of Porto.
They shouldn't be
they
shouldn't be coming from 1-0 down in the first 10 minutes to win that game 2-1.
Does it show maybe that Porto, they know they can't win it, so they're not putting the effort in? I don't really know. Do you reckon that could be part of it? They don't really care about the tournament?
No, because they're playing their strongest side.
Yeah, but they have to in the rules. Like in the rules, it says you have to play your strongest team.
Yeah, but...
What is the strongest team, though? They can't definitively say what their strongest team is.
Well, no, I know, but
Exactly.
But
They're
like
still
in the
doing
rules,
transfers
they
as
say
well.
you have to play your best players, and
But then still, you would expect Porto to be beating Inter Miami.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
100% without
the
a
best
doubt.
Porto team should still be beating the best Inter Miami team.
Yes, for
and
sure.
also, if you look at the game, Porto started well in the first kind of 15 minutes, and then just kind of broke down themselves. There was no communication with the players.
No.
The manager clearly wasn't happy, but the players just weren't understanding that and connecting.
Yeah.
And it was quite funny to watch, actually, because you could tell that the players kind of went into the game expecting to win pretty easily, got a penalty in the first 10 minutes, expected it was going to be maybe 3 or 4-0. I think a lot of people did expect that, but
I think
fair play to Inter Miami.
I think that's been a theme with the Club World Cup in general, though, is a lot of these bigger European sides have thought, we'll easily beat all of these teams. Like Chelsea, for example, with Flamengo, they would have thought, we'll easily beat them, and then they play them and they're actually a lot tougher than they're expecting, and it gives them a shock and they're not ready for that. I think that's a big reason.
No, 100%.
Yeah, well, I mean, we'll go on to the Friday then, because the Friday was just
It's a
absolutely
crazy
chaotic.
day of football.
So
yeah,
the results
really
on the
good.
Friday were PSG 0, Botafogo 1.
Massive win.
Benfica 6, Auckland 0. Flamengo 3, Chelsea 1, and then LAFC 0, Esperance 1.
Yeah.
Shout out to Lloyd saying, I think you're dreaming about Botafogo
Well,
beating
I called it from the
PSG.
beginning.
Fair play. I mean, if you do look at the stats, PSG had like 4 times the amount of shots,
Yeah.
but Botafogo were clinical. They took their chance. It was a deflected goal, but who cares if you're Botafogo? Why would you care? You're in the round of 16.
Seen a team defend better in a long time. Like, the way they defended was incredible.
Yeah.
See the video before of them building that fake brick wall?
Yeah.
They were a brick wall, though.
No,
Yeah.
they're absolutely
they did
solid.
it.
Same with when they played Atletico Madrid the other day. It took them a long time to break them down.
Yes.
And I think
Yeah.
that's the difference. Brazilian football specifically is very interesting because we are defensively very solid. And I feel like allowing PSG to have the ball, they did hit the crossbar. They had chances. The keeper made a save, like a brilliant save, to be fair.
Yeah.
But I think allowing the team to have the ball and just standing off I feel like a lot of European teams don't really know what to do in that situation.
Yeah.
Where it's easy for PSG to break down a team like Arsenal because they play a high line. So playing a ball through the across that line, you've got to recover. But if a team's sitting deep, like Botafogo did, like what really can you do?
Yeah.
No, nothing.
To play devil's advocate, though, and talk about strongest teams, PSG did not play their strongest team against Botafogo at all.
No.
True.
They were missing 4 or 5 of their strongest players.
I think
Yeah.
Dembele's injured anyway.
Yes, he
because
is,
he's
yeah.
just not playing in general.
No.
And as it was highlighted after the game, they triggered press straight away on who was it? Left back or left centre back?
Lucas Hernandez.
It was Hernandez.
Yeah,
I think it was
Lucas
Yeah, because Nuno
and,
Mendes didn't play, did he?
Pacho as well.
Yeah, and the gap between Mendes, or even the style of the just difference of style of play
Yeah.
between
Yeah.
Mendes and Hernandez is just
That's
completely
crazy.
different.
I mean,
Oh, yeah,
especially
for
when
sure.
you've got Hakimi
It changes
on
how
the
you
other
play,
side.
and for a left back to say that is
Yeah,
crazy.
especially as you've got Hakimi on the other side. They're both known for being attacking fullbacks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing in Hernandez, you lose that attacking side on the left. Which
Well, you lose the
you've
ball.
got- well, exactly. But
Yeah.
also it means that you've got you've got the right back halfway up the pitch and the left back still sitting back.
They're not in the line.
Exactly. But as you could tell, as soon as Nuno Mendes came on, the game changed, and PSG, that's where they created most of their
Yeah.
chances with him
Did
coming
Vitinha
on.
not play in that game either?
Vitinha he started.
It was Joe Neves who didn't play then, wasn't it?
It was Zaire Emery and
that's it.
is it Mayulu?
Mayulu.
Yeah.
And he
You-
doesn't play in that
you've
position
correct.
either.
Exactly.
In all fairness, though, he's been very good every time I've seen him play. I mean, he scored in the Champions League final. He can't be that bad.
No.
Yeah,
I know it was to put
Exactly,
5-0 up,
exactly.
but
No, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's good, but even looking at the bench, right? So you had Nuno Mendes.
Marquinhos didn't start either, did he?
No, not at all. You had Marquinhos, Nuno Mendes, Ruiz, Neves, Barcola, Lee. You had Kimpembe.
A lot of them are starters.
yeah, a lot.
Maybe not Kimpembe, but the rest of those guys would probably get into this team. Doué
Yeah.
maybe wouldn't start. He's been good, but if you want to, I think if this is a game against Bayern Munich,
I do think Doué would start though.
I think Barcola
Yeah,
would
absolutely
start
starts.
more. I think Barcola
Yeah, Doué
starts.
starts.
You reckon
for
so?
me.
Interesting.
Yeah, I think
No
Doué.
chance.
I think Barcola's a better player at the moment.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Fantastic
Okay.
clip here.
I would say-
Fantastic clip.
I think Doué's a better player. I think Barcola's a good player. But yeah, I remember what was it? Doué and Lamine Yamal comparisons and stuff like
No,
this.
there's nowhere near
we
that.
need to
I don't
start,
like those
comparisons. People need to chill out.
I
Right?
think
Doué's
it's
good,
Doué-
but Lamine Yamal is like up here. Doué is here. I know he
also
scored
don't-
in the Champions League final, but there is a gap.
I don't think Doué's even like the best French player right now because that'd be Ousmane Dembele.
That's true.
I think
Yeah.
Dembele's better than him, but I think Doué's probably the next best.
Would you not say
attacker in that team.
Mbappe's still
There's a
better?
lot of
Mbappe,
quality
yeah.
French players.
Yeah.
Loads
Yeah.
of
That's what
it's
I mean.
France. Like, it's just like,
Yeah, exactly.
The French attacking quality
It's
is ridiculous.
crazy.
Like,
It
is
if you
insane.
think, I don't think Barcola's near to Doué though. Like, well,
No,
he's
to-
near,
to
but
be
like,
fair-
I don't think he's that
mean,
level.
I think Barcola's good though.
Like
Yeah.
Gonzalo Ramos got a 6.2 and was hooked on 59 minutes.
Well, he doesn't start.
He
either,
doesn't.
really.
He gets sold.
Exactly,
He's
but
going to
the-
get sold.
But that's my point. My point is in terms of if Dembele is playing, he plays in that striker
And he
or
does.
right wing
Yes.
position.
Scores.
And yeah, he probably does break down that team. Going on to the rest of the games, we do want to talk about Chelsea. 'Cause
Yes, they lost,
1-0
didn't they?
up, Jackson getting sent off, destroying the game.
Wasn't
really.
it?
That was the
wasn't
most
it his
stupid
birthday?
thing
Was it
ever.
not his
Yeah,
birthday?
his birthday came on.
He got the wrong type of birthday
He
card.
just wanna-
He came on 4 minutes. I think touched the ball maybe twice and then got sent off.
to go and have a party. That's
Nicholas
all. He
Jackson,
just wanted to
man.
go and enjoy his birthday.
And
I do think he's a decent striker, though. I just don't get why he's.
He's so silly.
I don't-
He's so
yeah,
silly.
it's
saying
so
he should
rash.
be brought back into midfield. Though I've seen a lot of Chelsea
Into
fans
midfield?
Yeah, we
talking
said
about
that last
doing,
week.
Yeah, doing the same with
What, like a Joel Linton?
Yeah,
Um,
because
No, I
yeah.
can't see that.
I think he'd be pretty good.
I could see him playing left
Especially
wing.
having like Delap now up front,
I
who
just-
we'll get onto because Delap's good striker.
Right.
I don't see where he gets in though because they've got
He's not good- he
Caicedo,
won't get in
Enzo
that midfield, no.
Fernandez.
But this is the thing. What I don't understand in this game, they started Rhys James as centre midfielder.
Yeah, Maresca
Sure-
does that a lot.
Surely
yeah.
you bring.
It's his inverting,
Yeah,
though.
but surely you bring Fernandez back.
No, he
into that-
played central midfield.
No,
he
he
actually
started
played
as centre
played
midfielder.
Who
central
played right
midfield.
back then?
Gusto.
Oh, but he's rubbish anyway. I
But
think.
it was he was awful.
Gusto's not been very good under Maresca, is he? He was
No,
good under
but
Pochettino.
He's not.
Yeah.
He's not an inverted.
But yeah, under
fullback,
Maresca,
and
he's not.
Maresca always inverts with the right back.
But
Yeah.
surely you bring Fernandez into that position.
You put Fernandez
You
there and you
bring-
put Rhys James inverting because he's good at that anyway.
Yeah, but surely what you do is if you're going to change it, you take out Rhys James, put him at right back, you put Fernandez into the centre mid, and that allows Jackson to come in if you're not going to play Palmer in that position.
Who was the one that got arrested in that midfield?
Must have been.
Lavia.
Fernandez didn't you? say?
Yeah, Lavia. Yeah,
Was it Lavia?
It was Lavia.
Oh, yeah,
Gusto
sorry.
at fault for 2 goals as well.
Yeah, I mean,
wow.
he was awful. He did get a 6.2 rating out of
not
everyone.
good. That's not good.
But I do want to highlight Felipe Luis.
Yes, what a job he's doing.
Absolute brilliant job. He's lost 2 games in about 40 with Flamengo.
That's incredible.
And I mean, it's interesting because it was what I think that game was played literally 15 or 10 years after he left Chelsea because he didn't get enough game time.
Wow.
The career he's gone through, kind of going back to South America, rebuilding his career. Coming in as a manager, everyone thought he wasn't going to be great because, a lot of players come as managers. It doesn't really go that well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he managed the game really well.
He's screwed now, though, with the teams they're facing now.
Yeah, they've got Bayern and PSG if they do get through Bayern.
Well, that'd be unbelievable if they got through both.
If they get through both of those, then fair enough.
I could see it happening, though. Like, out of all the Brazilian teams or South American teams, I could see Flamengo being the team that get furthest in the competition.
Right. Are they the team that you've been impressed with the most during this tournament, then, you would say?
Yeah. I think especially because Botafogo and Palmeiras are going to play each other.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, of course, one of them has to go through. But realistically, if any of them are actually going to challenge to win it, I think Flamengo are going to be the best. They have the biggest support.
Yeah.
Flamengo got.
Flamengo have Bayern Munich.
I think anyone could beat Bayern Munich.
That's
Yeah,
what I
I actually don't think Bayern Munich is that good.
After that, if they go through, it's PSG or into Miami.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think PSG,
I think-
though, they should really beat they should beat most teams on their day.
The reason I'm going to disagree is because they couldn't break down that Botafogo side, and Flamengo have a better defense.
I'm not
than
saying
that
they will
Botafogo
win.
side.
I'm saying that
Yeah.
PSG really should be beating pretty much any team in the world on their day.
They
I
should
think
be winning.
other than
tournaments.
maybe Real Madrid, who
100%
aren't
agree.
in form anyway at the moment.
Them and Real
PSG
Madrid
should be anyone.
Maybe Bar Man City are the two realistic. Like that should be the final.
Yeah.
Because they're on either side. That should be the final. But I feel like out of all the other teams, Flamengo is the one team that I would back, especially because the support they've got across Brazil is incredible.
Have they taken
let
a lot
alone
of
in
fans
America?
there?
Half the stadium is all Flamengo.
Yeah,
Like,
honestly, the stadium, the Brazilian
half the stadium's
teams,
full.
Yeah.
they are there. Like a lot of the fans in the stadiums are empty, but when the Brazilian teams are playing,
yeah.
the
And the
stadiums are
Argentinian
looking
teams
pretty
as
good.
well. I
They-
saw
they
Boca
pack it out.
as
It's more
well.
local, though, isn't it? I know
Yeah.
it's hours away on
Yeah.
a plane, but still, the European
But
team's
even-
so far.
Yeah,
So-
that's true.
And the money as well.
Well, exactly. Well, I was doing some work for Flamengo during the Chelsea game, and absolutely incredible. Like even just the support in Copacabana, like the beach itself, I would say there was about 20,000 fans just coming out just to stand there and watch the game.
Yeah.
I've not seen something like it in a long time, and
Unreal.
That support helps a team so much, and I think you can tell the players play for the fans. They like the atmosphere, they play for it, and I think that's what helped them, especially in this game, come through that.
I think the whole 12th man thing though is like the biggest in like South America, especially Brazil and Argentina. Like the 12th man is so important to all of the teams there, much more than it is in like England, for example, where support is getting a lot worse, I'd say.
Yeah, I think fans are very much connected with the clubs, and you're very much, like I don't really know how to explain it, but
It's just more vocal.
It's
as
just
well.
not a tourist
yeah.
attraction.
It's not
Yeah.
touristy.
you feel part of the club. As I said, I went to watch the game in the Maracanã for Flamengo, in one of the best atmospheres I've ever had. Like the way every single person singing, shouting, it's what I said. It's one of the best atmospheres. It's incredible.
Incredible. Yeah.
Gonna kind of move on to just a quick note on Esperance. I've been very impressed with them this tournament.
Yeah.
From Tunisia, beating LAFC.
Yeah, LAFC, did they actually get a point in this tournament at all? Did they get a,
think they
did they get a
They drew
point?
I'm not really
yesterday.
surprised.
I think they
No.
No,
drew.
they lost.
Again,
Did they?
though, we're not.
No, they did. Sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
they
they
drew.
drew
They
yesterday.
They drew yesterday.
They drew to Flamengo.
Oh, right.
Flamengo, that's
right.
it, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I mean, Flamengo completely rotated their side.
Yeah, and they were already top of the group,
Yeah.
so they automatically finished top. But yeah, the MLS teams, well, Seattle Sounders, what was it? They finished
they were
bottom as
awful.
well, didn't they?
Yeah, but the MLS teams are never going to do well, like because
They're retirement homes.
it's
Yeah,
rubbish
I
league.
mean-
I'll be honest. Like,
Right.
'cause people said this about like the Saudi league and stuff as well. Like, oh, people are just going there to retire. The MLS was that league. The Saudi league has good players in it. The MLS does not. Like,
Saudi league can
they
still
have
get
they have
players who are
Messi.
playing
There's a
well now.
slight difference, I
They've-
think, because
yeah.
one's a retirement home and one's they're going for the money.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
look,
But they got still are with MLS.
you've got Messi
Slightly
in the MLS.
Yeah.
Other than that, I wouldn't say anyone like because you've
Suarez
got players
maybe, but
you've got players
it's
who
Inter
were
Miami
good,
and
but
everyone else,
but they're not good anymore. Like even Messi, he's not.
Yeah.
He's not going to take on players the same way he used to because he can't.
He doesn't. He doesn't really.
No.
I mean, what I would say is, look, teams like Seattle, are realistically only in the tournament because it's in America.
Yeah. Well, they got 3 teams, didn't they?
LAFC is another one where
Yeah.
probably wouldn't get in. There's a lot of other Mexican teams that you can think of, even some other like Central American teams.
Yeah.
Even a Canadian team could probably get into it. But I think you could kind of, as you said, the quality of the league has not been great.
No.
Another team that I have been really impressed with is Mamelodi Sundowns.
Yeah, they
have
did
been
quite well, didn't they?
absolutely
Scoring a few
incredible.
goals.
Yeah, surprising.
Yeah, they got a win against Ulsan, which I feel like a lot of people would have said that's one of the kind of like worst games in terms of it didn't have the hype
Well,
as a lot of the other ones
I
did.
think Ulsan are not that bad.
No, exactly. But in terms of like, you've got the likes of PSG, Atletico Madrid.
Yeah, you're not looking at that
game's
game.
hyped.
Yeah.
This game has kind of gone under the radar.
J-League has some good players, though.
No, exactly. They're Korean, not J-League.
Yeah.
I thought they were J-League.
No, K-League.
K-League.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
who's
Hyundai.
the J-League
You're
team?
thinking of
Red
Red Diamonds.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, even the game against Dortmund, a 4-3.
Yeah.
Great game. And I feel like another one where Dortmund came into this game going, we're going to win the game easily.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, I think Sundowns probably deserved something else out of that game.
Yeah.
I think this is what all the European teams are doing now. They don't really see these teams as big threats. It's like if you're a big team who's been put into the Europa League or the Conference League and you've got easy matches in the group, you just play an easy team and then they might come out and beat you because they are actually a lot better than you expect them to be, and they're defensively very sound.
Yeah, I mean, I do want to quick pick up on Bellingham getting his first goal.
Yeah.
He got so much hype
Yeah.
after that game. He got so much hype.
I feel like 30 million is ridiculous for him.
I think
don't
it's a
he's
lot.
worth that
It's a lot of money.
I think
yeah.
it's an investment though, because I do think he's
You'll
a very
get
good
profit
player.
on him.
He's
Don't
talented.
He's a
get me
good
wrong.
player. He's not going to be as good as Jude, but I don't think many players will be as good as Jude.
No.
But because this is what I said on the Green Show near the end of last season, that I think that name on his back is actually a curse because,
It's not on his back.
well, I know,
Yeah,
but
it's called
Jude.
I
No,
it's
know,
not Jude, so-
but having the Bellingham name now for him is a curse because yes, it's got him where it is, and he probably wouldn't have got there without it. But now he's always going to be compared to his brother,
Yeah,
and he's
exactly.
never going to be as good
Especially
as him.
going to the club that he was at.
But that's what I mean.
Like-
Like he wants to be his own thing now, and that's why he's got Job on the back rather than Bellingham.
Such a
because-
storyline to go to Barcelona just to piss off your brother.
Yeah, that'd be
So
great.
funny.
That'd be
Just to annoy
class.
him to
El
go to
Clasico,
Barcelona.
you know? That'd be so good.
We need it.
That'd be so good.
One thing I wanted to ask was, what's your opinion on a lot? So I've seen a lot of like European football fans talking about this and saying that players are tired.
Yeah.
No,
And
it's
I've
the same
got a
for
lot
everything.
of questions about this because look, a lot of people are saying that European teams play too many games.
Right.
Yes, they play a lot. Don't get me wrong.
Brazilian teams have played more.
If you compare this to a Brazilian calendar, over the last calendar year, a lot of Premier League teams or European teams have played maybe 40 or 50 games.
Mm-hmm.
Brazilian teams so far, like Flamengo, have played upward of nearly 80 games in a calendar year.
But this thing, people
They must have way more squad rotation.
and they're also
must
now
do.
still halfway through a season. And
That's
this tournament.
ridiculous.
all
And
teams
it's
play
not that
too many
much.
games though. It's because people say, oh yeah, European teams playing too many games. It's not just them. It's all teams really across the world are playing too many games.
I mean, look, just for context, the Brazilian calendar starts in January, goes all the way through to the first week of December, and then starts the first week of January again. So they have a 3-week gap, and that's the only break they get other than international breaks, which
which is not a lot.
Wow.
don't get me wrong, not all, and also, so not a lot of players from the Brazilian league do actually go to represent nations. And during international breaks, the league season continues. So when
That's why
Brazil
there's
played
games.
recently, they continue playing games.
Yeah.
That's why you're playing upward of nearly 80 to 90 games a season.
Which
Especially
is
when you
too
have a
many.
World Cup on top of it, you have a Club World Cup on top of it. It's way too many. But then you compare it to, a lot of European leagues stop for, internationals. And, you have Germany, France, Netherlands have winter breaks. We don't have that. And we're playing in conditions like in America where conditions have been another issue because a lot of games have been paused for, hours because of it.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's one of those things where you can't, a lot of European teams are using it as an excuse. I know, was it Madrid used it as wanted to use it as an excuse, saying we've played too many games, it was too much heat. I feel like you can't use that as an excuse anymore because you're up against people who are playing more games in worse climates.
I think that the heat is maybe something that's like fair enough because, like for example, a Brazilian team is going to be more used to the heat than an English team because it's not as hot in England, so Brazilian teams are more used to those conditions. But the fixture scheduling is not a valid argument.
The Spanish teams, they play in like 30-degree heat.
That's true.
And they don't complain about it in Spain. But
think-
as soon as you go to America, they now complain when they're not playing as well as they should.
I mean, the
That's a
English
good
teams
point.
are the main ones that can use that argument, but I don't even think they've got much of an argument because it's not like it's cold here all year.
Yeah,
Like the winter, yeah, fair enough, it's very cold. But
Half their players aren't English though.
you know,
Exactly.
I know. That's
A
the thing, a lot of them
are
have
from-
grown up
yeah.
in these hot countries.
you're here to win matches. Like, don't be using excuses
Yeah, oh, no,
if you don't
don't
win a
use
match.
excuses.
Like,
Yeah.
I think it's that simple.
I mean, that should be the whole end of it is don't use excuses. If you lost, you lost. The better team
Well, exactly.
beat you.
Before we move on, I do want to ask one more question, which I've been reading a lot about recently. Do you think, focusing on Atletico Madrid, do you think it's time for Simeone to go? Because he is the highest paid manager.
Yeah.
They really haven't been hitting the heights. They've had a lot of expectation. I feel like, look, if he was a Premier League manager, he would have been sacked by now.
Right.
Because they've consistently been poor. They haven't really been getting the results. They haven't really been doing too well in Champions League and the league. This competition, they're expected to at least get out the group. To lose
Yeah.
in the group stage,
It's poor.
I feel like, especially
Yeah.
as the highest paid manager in the world, I think you've got to look at it and go, look, you've got to change it at some point.
He's just such an
He's a
Atletico
club
manager,
legend, though.
He's such an Atletico manager.
Man.
The football he plays is like prime, like what you think Atletico
But
is.
I don't think the club will win anything under him. That's the thing.
They have.
But I'm saying anything else from
Well,
now.
Do you think
then
if
they
you get
got-
rid of him and they get someone else in, do you think they have a better chance of doing that?
I don't think they do,
I don't
because
think there's a
Madrid and
better
To
Barcelona
win
manager out
anything
there.
as an
So good.
Atletico Madrid manager is a great achievement.
Yeah, no, I agree with
You're
that.
against Real Madrid and Barcelona every season. You're in the Champions League against ridiculous teams every season. Like it's unbelievable to do what they do. And last season, I don't think they were that bad.
No.
They finished third,
Who were
yeah.
they? Yeah, they were third, which is what you expect from
Yeah, they
Atletico
were.
Madrid every season. Champions League, they played really well. They played who
Real
they gonna
Madrid.
play?
They got
Like,
knocked
Real
out by
Madrid.
Madrid.
And that was a
bit
great game. It could have gone either way.
Yeah,
That was
the
controversial.
penalty, to be fair, was
It could have gone either way. I think. Also, I don't think you can sack any manager based off a Club World Cup performance. I
Oh
don't
no,
think
not
it's.
at all.
I'm not basing it off that. I'm more saying in terms of, surely they should be winning more, even if it's like
You should be winning more.
Copa
That's
del
fine.
Rey,
Yeah.
or so like a lot of the competitions they're not
But
doing. As
I wouldn't
well
say
as
they've
they should.
underperformed in any
'Cause
metric.
I feel like they're the kind of team that if they're in the Europa League, I think they win it.
this
100%.
this Real
but
Madrid team
because
though,
of where they are in the league, they're going to get Champions League football, and I don't see them winning it. I feel like
No,
they
I
want
don't
to.
either.
the Real Madrid team they're up against though is probably the best Madrid team there's been in years. Like I know they're not performing the way they should be.
completely
It's the
disagree.
worst, worst Real Madrid team we've seen in a
No,
decade.
I would say
Yeah.
Barcelona's the best team in a while.
I would say
Yeah.
Barcelona.
Let me explain.
But-
Let me explain what I mean. I mean,
me talk.
they're not performing, but in terms of the actual raw players they've got, if Xabi Alonso can get like the most out of all of these players he's got,
Right.
that is the best team in the world by a long way.
If they could, yeah, but
Maybe, but I
if's a
think-
big word.
Yeah,
Two letters,
No,
but big
if.
word.
But no, they've got.
I think if you said
they've
Barcelona, I would
They've
hear
got the
you,
best
but-
striker in the world. They've got.
I don't
They've
agree.
got Rodrigo and
Yeah, I
Vinicius
think they
Junior,
do.
who are both
Yeah.
ridiculous. They've got.
Wouldn't say Rodrigo's
they've got-
ridiculous.
They've got Trent
Good player.
now. Look at that midfield as well. They've got
I
and the
think-
options they've
Well, I mean,
got.
But I don't think-
Rodrigo
yeah.
might leave. I think Vinicius is just got an ego that just doesn't
Yeah,
work
that
with
is
the
the problem
club.
with him.
Mbappe also has an ego that doesn't really work with the club.
He's just performing, though, to be fair to him.
He is
gets
doing well,
goals.
don't
He gets
get me
goals,
wrong.
Mbappe. He's had an unreal
Trent
season.
going forward, yeah, I can hear it. Defensively, maybe not. Their defense is getting older as well. You've got Rudiger, who's getting older. Asensio, I'm not even going to say anything. Courtois within the next few years might move on, or there's not really another. Oh, they got.
But I think a lot of their
But-
attackers are really young though, and they're only going to get better. Like they got.
Well, let's see if they stay though, because Rodrigo might leave.
But why would they leave when they're at Real Madrid, one of the biggest?
Because
clubs in the world?
Rodrigo's
And
not getting
Rodrigo's
starts all
been
the
pushed
time.
out. Endrick's
He
been
should
pushed
be.
out.
Rodrigo will
Ardagula's
leave, I
hardly
think.
really played.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ardagula played like what, maybe over.
Nah, he'll play next
Just
season.
about
Yeah.
thousand.
But
He'll play
also,
next season. He'll be big next season.
Barcelona as well are getting better and better because they've got all these young players coming
Yeah,
through.
I think
so
Barcelona's
both
the
of these two teams are gonna just get better, I think, and that means for Atletico, there's not really much left for them to win because it will be Barcelona and Real Madrid competing for the titles. So
Yeah.
I think it's hard for Simeone.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot, because I think, as I said, they're expected to kind of finish third and stuff, but at the same time, a lot of the fans do want them to be better, especially as you had the likes of Athletic Club winning Was it the Spanish Cup? Was it? Copa del
Yeah, I
Rey?
think they won a
Something
trophy.
like that.
Yeah, might have been last season or the year before that.
You should be. I feel like you're expecting the kind of Atletico Madrid to do that, but they haven't really done it in recent years, at least.
I think to be a consistent Champions League team, though, is an achievement in itself.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
be able to
don't,
do that.
don't get me
No,
wrong.
I think
Especially where they were like 20 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, from going to there to where they've come now, and then obviously Simeone's helped a lot of that. Yeah, I don't think you can sack him unless if he does really, really bad. It's like if we still had Jurgen Klopp and we finished, even if we finished 10th one season, I don't think we would have sacked him. We would have kept him for another year.
Like, their
genuinely,
squad is getting
he has got
stronger
that.
as well, though. Like, because they've got Julian Alvarez as well now,
Yeah.
who's ridiculous.
Sorloth was awful. Sorry.
Yeah, but Sorloth is a ridiculous player. Like, he scored 4 goals in so many games last season.
He's
Like,
incredible.
They've got good players coming through, and a lot of that is down to the success that Simeone's built, and they're now building on that with that. So that's down to him. I think.
I do want to mention though, Sorloth was awful in this tournament. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
he didn't play great.
He had a poor game. Anyway, we'll move on. Honestly, wasn't even a good game. I just wanted to talk about the River Plate Monterrey game.
Yeah.
Just because there was eight
Violence.
or nine yellow cards. I think 3 red cards were produced at one point.
Gosh.
Ramos loving
It's
that.
literally
just Mexico versus Argentina, and it's just a battle. I just find it funny because, as I said, a lot of European players are watching. A lot of European fans are watching football and seeing kind of a lot of people will see the first kind of taste of
Yeah.
football in Central America and South America. I just find it funny how that's a game that a lot of people would have watched and gone, "What the hell is going on?"
I do
on?
think
Yeah.
the Club World Cup is good for that. I think it's probably one of the only things it is good for, because I am learning stuff about Brazilian football and Argentinian football that I didn't know. I'm seeing these players who I didn't really know that well before, and I'm thinking, wow, they're very good.
Yeah.
I think it's showing a lot of European fans that there is a lot of good football outside of Europe.
Yeah, no, I agree. Just going to wrap up. So, look, Man City, we've not really mentioned them, but they've just been kind of cruising.
Yeah.
6-0 win against Alain. Atletico Madrid did get a win against Botafogo Bar.
Yes. Yeah, they did, didn't they? That was Did you see the assist for the Julian Alvarez? What was it? The Griezmann goal. Alvarez, that was a great bit of skill for him.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how they didn't get a penalty. Did you see
it
that?
wasn't a
You
penalty.
didn't think it was a pen? No,
Not at all.
No?
Not at all.
Really?
But genuinely, not even just being
Wow.
Brazilian or whatever, I don't think it was a penalty.
Yeah.
The player has gone for the ball, I think. Was it? It was.
Didn't get any of the ball, though, and
but
got
it was
the man.
Alvarez. The thing is,
Yeah.
Alvarez was already going down before the contact. Plus,
Right.
what the ref had said was there was a foul before.
Okay.
Which I think was just a cop out.
Right.
Seattle got beat by PSG.
Surprise,
I
surprise.
just want to talk about yesterday's games because we'll start with the Porto 4, Al Ali 4.
What a mad game.
What a game!
Yeah.
Insane game
what a
of
game
football.
to finish off the
I
group.
think they've surprised me as well. Al Ali. I didn't really
Yeah.
know much about them.
We had Ali score a hat trick in the game as well. What's the chances? But as I said, it just kind of sums up Porto. Really, they were dominated by them,
Yeah.
and
Sums up their season
I don't know
as well.
what's wrong with
it's
them. There's
just been
something's wrong there.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's players or managers. I think it's just
They just completely
there's
fell off.
something wrong.
yeah.
I don't know if it's a club culture thing or something like that. It's just something is wrong.
I mean, look, in the last 2 games of that group, you've had 12 goals. Because the other game, Inter Miami, 2-0 up on Palmeiras, looking like they're going to win the game. Palmeiras come back and make it 2-2.
Yeah.
Big result for Palmeiras. I think it helps them going into Botafogo next, getting 2 goals. They're defensively good. It's going to be interesting seeing 2 Brazilian sides come
Inter
up
Miami
against.
have now.
Inter Miami have PSG.
Oh, so they've missed
Yeah.
Messi
a bullet
Messi
Palmeiras.
against his former
Yeah.
club.
So
Very exciting. I can't wait to see that.
we'll go through what we think in a minute. Want to just massive shout out to Auckland.
Yes.
Yeah.
They were
Yeah.
pumped twice in a row, 10-0 and 6-0.
Look, they're a
Everyone looked
semi-pro
at this
team.
and- yeah.
It'd be like putting Tamworth in it.
Look, everyone looked at this and went, they're going to get battered.
Yeah.
And being 1-0 down to an own goal is heartbreaking, to
Yeah.
be fair. But have you seen the guy who scored?
No.
He's a school teacher.
Yeah.
Really?
And he had to ask
way.
for leave to come to the
Oh,
tournament.
all
my
of them
gosh.
did, because I saw this guy
Yeah.
saying he didn't know how he was going to pay his bills, but it's worth it to play against these
Yeah,
teams.
well,
But
the club as well. The club have made money because
But
in their whole
made
season,
loads.
Yeah, their whole season they made maybe up just under 500,000 for TV rights the whole season.
Yeah.
they've already made 3 million just off
Wow.
this.
but
Plus, they've got bonuses on top of that.
they're ranked 5,000th in the world
Yeah.
in the FIFA coefficients. The lowest ranked English team there is like, I think it's Chesterfield, who are ranked like 1,000th. Like
they're a massive.
Like they're like a crap team in England, and they're 4,000 places above.
Yeah, and they've managed to get a draw against Boca Juniors.
That's what I mean. It's a big.
That's crazy.
That's summarised how big it is.
Just on a note, I'm so petty. Every Argentinian person who follows me on Instagram, I sent a message literally just going, Brazil football better than Argentina, and left it at that. So I pissed off a bunch of people, but it's worth it.
Gosh.
Benfica beating Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm.
I think if you're Flamengo, you're looking at that going, that's good for us. Coming up against a Bayern Munich team who've just lost, it's better than having them, beat Benfica 4 or 5-0, and you're looking at that going, shit.
Yeah.
But I think
they didn't start all their best players though.
No,
Like,
they
Kane and Elise are both on the bench.
Leroy Sané was starting, and of course, he's off to Galatasaray. That's what Callum said in the chat yesterday.
He's signed already, so
It's such a weird dynamic because all of these players that haven't moved clubs yet, but some of them already have deals away. It's so weird,
but
like
it's interesting 'cause
knowing some of these players are playing, but they're not actually going to be there.
It's because their contract ends at end of June.
End of
doesn't it?
June.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, this is the thing. Was it Jorginho who's already gone to play for Flamengo already because he went on a free, so he could just sign automatically. But then you've got the likes of Luka Modric who's just signed for AC Milan today, and yet he's going to complete the tournament. I think there's a chance that they actually come up against each other. How the hell's that going to happen? No, sorry.
No, he's
They're not in it.
he's not in the
I'm gonna
tournament.
say.
There was another player. There's another player who has a chance of coming up against a team that he's already about to sign for.
That is so rogue.
Esteban. That's it.
Estevao.
Esteban could come up against Chelsea, and he's already a Chelsea player.
Yeah.
Which
What do you do in that situation? Do you like play worse on purpose?
No, you
or
play
do
better. You
not?
show
try
that you're
and,
buying.
you
really
want
cement
to show
yourself.
up.
You proved to Maresca
but say
that you're a
Esteban,
starter.
don't forget-
Yeah, but say to Estevao, he scores a hat trick and puts Chelsea out. They're not going to be best pleased.
Yeah, but also,
No, they are.
Loads of money.
We've got a cracking blur.
Don't forget that if Chelsea win it, it's not like he gets a winner's medal.
Yeah, no.
Shoot, yeah,
He
good
only
point.
gets the winner's medal if Palmeiras win it.
Yeah.
Obviously for him,
And
he
it's
wants to win
his
it.
home
but-
team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't he?
He came through the academy. He's there. Have been so impressed with him though. He's been good.
Yeah.
Gonna wrap it up fairly soon. Want to just talk Chelsea yesterday with a 3-0 win over Esperance as expected. Delap getting was it his first goal?
think
First goal, yeah.
He
First
got an
goal.
assist in the other one.
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks good. I mean, we know he's a good player.
Yeah, we know he's
We know
good.
he's good.
I was skeptical about him going to Chelsea. I just wasn't.
We still don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
don't
I'll,
think he's
I'll
the-
wait till we see
yeah.
him in the league.
I'm
start.
still not convinced. I think a goal against Esperance is very different. No offense to them, but I think it's very different
It's
from
confidence
playing.
though.
Yeah,
For sure.
I want to see him come up against a bigger team and
Yeah.
see how he does. Because the game against Flamengo, once again, not the biggest of teams, but I just didn't think he was that good.
No.
Coming up against, if he comes up against Bayern Munich, PSG, one of these teams,
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to see how he fits into the system.
Totally
I think
agree.
if him and Cole Palmer link up well, that could be
He's
devastating.
got all the hallmarks of a good striker. Like he's strong, he's quick,
Yeah.
and he's got good
He doesn't
finishing.
remind me of
He's
Kane,
got all
like the way Kane is now. I feel like he kind of has similar tendencies as a young player. You just
Right.
want him to build off that and hopefully grow, because Chelsea's a very young squad anyway. You kind of hope that they can all kind of gel. Because if that Chelsea team, as young as it is, starts gelling, that is devastating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
100%.
Like, that's not looking
No,
good.
it's a good team. If I was a Chelsea fan, I would have looked at this summer transfer window and gone, get me a world class striker in this team.
Goalkeeper.
And a goalkeeper as well.
That's
Goalkeeper
what-
as well, yeah, for sure. But still, at the same time, like Nicholas Jackson, I think he got 10 goals in the league this season, and then previous, I think it was 14 or 15, which is not like a bad tally.
Yeah.
But you've got Cole Palmer. You've not got wingers who really score too many goals. I don't think Madueke and Pedro Neto hit
Yeah,
10
they might be
goals.
getting Gittins, to be fair.
Yeah, or Gittins, but then again, he scored 8 goals in the Bundesliga
Yeah,
last
it's not
season.
like-
It's a decent amount, but they need a world-class player who scores lots of goals outside of Cole Palmer. That's how they're going to pick
I
on.
don't think Delap's that player. That's the thing.
No, exactly. I don't think so
seem to
either.
do that anymore though. They don't seem to buy these already world class players. They seem to be trying to make them
But then
themselves
yeah.
and not
won anything
and not
recently. Like,
yeah, but
I
they're
know
not.
they won the Conference League, but in terms of, they should have walked the competition anyway.
Yes.
But that's why they haven't been as good as they have recently, because they haven't had a striker.
Yeah, but in the last few seasons, name one like world class player they signed. They've been trying to build rather than buying good
that's been the
players.
problem.
Buying Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez 100 million each is a bit.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. Yeah,
Yeah,
but that was the
exactly.
last time they did it.
Even
too
Cole
long
Palmer,
ago.
though.
That was a few
Even
seasons-
signing
it was a good
Palmer,
few
we knew
seasons ago
Palmer
now.
was a good player when he signed for the club. Don't get me wrong, we didn't
It
expect
was
him
still
to play
only
how
what,
he did.
40 million?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
but
is not like,
as you said,
for a
spending
club
200
like
million on
Chelsea
two
is not a
midfielders.
lot.
Yeah.
40 million.
Yeah, 210 million on two midfielders.
They can't keep spending that money. They're going to have to
Exactly.
stop at some point.
Yeah, no, for sure. And you just look at the Chelsea team. They need a mixture. You can't be buying players under 24 years of age all the time and then just expecting it to work. I don't think
Well,
it's a good
that's what I've been
model.
saying.
It's a good model, but you need an experienced couple of players to come in and help that
You needed
squad out.
Thiago Silva, like when they had him a few seasons ago, to
the
help
one as
the
well is
younger
Mudryk.
players.
Mudryk is now out for 4 years. He's still got 4
He's
years.
not at Chelsea. He's not a Chelsea player anymore.
But this
No,
is the
he's
thing,
not.
still
He's not
got,
Chelsea now.
if he comes back after that 4-year ban, he still has a 4-year contract in that team.
Mental.
That is ridiculous.
That's the only backfire of an 8-year contract.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's now out for 4 years.
He could just sit there for 8 years
Well,
and say,
yeah. And
I'll
he's
have my wage,
getting paid.
thanks.
What was it
he's
like?
he's
Yeah.
getting paid,
Even-
and you can't release him. So
His compensation fee would be a choke as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
Terminate his
Oh, it'd be
contract.
like millions and millions.
Even before these new
You're looking
owners
at
came
40,
in,
50 million. You're
Yeah,
signing
just
a
let
new
him
player
go.
for him.
I think it was like Kepa was on a 7-year deal, no? Even before these new owners came in,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
was like
something like that.
You just
7-year
reminded me,
contract.
On the keeper thing, though, I have heard a lot of Chelsea fans say they think Petrovic is good enough and they don't think they
But I
need to sign
don't
a new
think they
keeper.
want
I still
keep it.
think they're going to
Yeah.
get Mignon. I still think they're
I
going
think
I
so.
think they need to. I don't think. I don't think he's-
Jorgensen will be their backup. He's not great though. That's the thing. I think
they need a new keeper.
I think
still
Jorgensen
think.
needs to go out on loan. They keep Sanchez as a backup and bring in Manuel. I think that will be.
I still
what
think
they
when
need
Club
to
World
do.
Cup finishes, they're going for Mignon, get him for cheap
Yeah.
price.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, to have that kind of value in the market for a player like that or goalkeeper like that is
How
unreal.
much is it again? Is it like?
It was like 25 mil or
Yeah,
something.
I thought-
But that's the
especially-
experience that they need.
yeah,
That's what we're
also,
saying.
keepers are
yeah.
difficult to come across.
There's not that
like-
many good keepers on the
Exactly.
market. They're all quite settled.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. Like, look at Oblak. Everyone said go sign Oblak for pretty much every club, but he's just stayed at the same club.
Yes.
And he's still a world-class
I'm
keeper.
surprised City haven't gone in for a keeper yet. I thought they'd go for because Edison was rubbish. I thought at points last season,
I think the whole team was rubbish. A lot.
Yeah,
of
but
points.
I
I don't
think-
think it's down to the goalkeeper.
but Edison's kind of getting older now. I thought they'd come in, bring in a young keeper to kind of start.
It's interesting with
succeeding.
both Brazilian keepers, though, isn't it? Because you've got Edison and Alisson, which two incredible keepers. But you look at that from the Brazilian side and go, you've had them both at the same time.
Yeah.
It's so annoying
And
for Brazil.
They're both going to probably retire around the same time. I think Edison's 30.
Yeah, Allison's a little, I think, like a year older.
32, I think,
Yeah.
something like that. But they're both going to
Keepers
retire
go longer
next
anyway,
year.
so he's probably
Yeah,
got
but
at
I
least
mean-
5 years left.
They're probably both going to retire at the same time. You're looking at it going, what the hell are you going to do? But anyway, yeah, before we wrap it up, LAFC getting a point against Flamengo.
Yeah.
Pretty rotated. But once again, for Flamengo, Bayern Munich have lost the game. You kind of want to go into that game on a win instead of a draw. But it is-
They already knew they were going through there, didn't they?
Exactly.
So, it's different.
So Dortmund have Ulsan next, and Sundowns have Fluminense, which I think pretty much Fluminense and Dortmund are through.
Yeah.
In that. Inter, River Plate, and Diamonds and Monterrey. Once again, I'm not actually sure who's top of that group.
I think it might be River Plate, you know.
Yeah, let me just have a
It
quick
is
look.
River Plate.
surprised.
It is
Yeah.
River-
River Plate and Inter both on 4, Monterrey and Red Diamonds on 2 and 0. Once again, River Plate and Inter are
Monterrey
probably gonna
might,
go through.
yeah,
Monterrey
Monterrey
could
might
have-
sneak through, you know. If Inter win and then Monterrey beat Red Diamonds.
Yeah, I mean, I
Yeah.
think, ironically, Inter and River just want to draw that game.
Yeah.
Draw season.
Well, if
both
Monterrey wins, what happens if they draw? Do they still go through?
through. Oh, no, they still actually go through over Inter.
Yeah, so they'll both want to win.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. You got Juventus and City are both already
Done.
through.
Yeah.
They're both on 6, both other teams on 0. They're already through. That game doesn't matter. And the interesting one for me is the Real Madrid group. Because Real Madrid play Salzburg. Real Madrid in first on 4 points. Salzburg second on 4 points. They play each other.
Yeah.
Al Hilal play Pachuca. Al Hilal on 2 points. Pachuca on 0. If Salzburg were to get a result against Real Madrid
They
and
get
Al
knocked
Hilal
out.
win,
Yeah.
They get knocked
Real
out.
Madrid get knocked out.
That would
I
be
think
crazy.
I do think Real Madrid will win though.
We said it again. We said it
Because
about
they
Al
have
Hilal.
to.
Yeah,
That's
they
true.
will though. I think.
That is true.
But I think it's an interesting dynamic because anyone in that group could still go through.
Yeah,
I
apart
think
from
Once
Pachuca.
again, if Al Hilal win and Salzburg lose, they go out.
I don't think
Real
Salzburg are as
Madrid.
good as Al Hilal though.
No.
But the thing is they're Al Hilal play Pachuca and they'll probably win that game.
Yes. Yeah.
Salzburg could get this is the kind of result against Real Madrid where I could see them getting a result. Because in that, as I said, you just kind of want to sit back and you know that if you draw, you're still through.
Yeah.
You want to just sit back and do that. I feel like Real Madrid are going to be the ones who are going to come out and actually properly want a result, especially to make a statement per se. But yeah, that wraps up all. There was a lot of games to go.
That
through, wasn't
was a
it?
massive
Jesus
amount of games
Christ.
this week.
Like half next week.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So let's just have a quick look at the teams who are going to be playing each other. So confirmed so far, Palmeiras, Botafogo. So we'll go through who do you think is going to go through in each of them.
Fogo, I think.
Oh, I don't know.
I think Palmeiras win it for everything I've seen.
Palmeiras have. Oh.
It's actually quite difficult.
That is not easy. It's not easy at all.
I've
I'm
always
gonna go.
watched Brazilian football as well, so I'm gonna know who's gonna go for it.
I'm gonna go Palmeiras.
Fair enough.
I think Palmeiras.
Benfica, Chelsea.
Chelsea will go through.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Chelsea.
I think it'll be tighter than people think, but I think Chelsea will go through.
I like Benfica, but Chelsea.
I'm going to go Benfica.
I
You go
actually do- I
Benfica,
do
do you
really
reckon?
like
If
Benfica.
everyone else is going to go Chelsea,
You're gonna change it up.
I feel like Benfica can do it. I feel
Absolutely.
Chelsea are one of those teams where we do something, look at it and go, you should be performing better.
Mm-hmm.
On the other side, PSG into Miami.
I'd love to say into Miami. I really, really would.
It's
I think for
PSG.
football it would be fun.
Yeah.
PSG.
It is PSG.
But yeah, PSG will go through. Bayern Munich, Flamengo.
Ooh.
This is
is
where
a
I would say
tough one.
Flamengo.
I'm calling it. Flamengo win the game.
I'd say
Flamengo win the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bayern
Bayern
Munich is so
Munich.
flippy floppy. It's so
Exactly.
it's so
I feel
annoying.
like Bayern Munich was sharp. I don't know why, but I think they will.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Bayern, I think it could go to extra time.
It could go
I
to
think
extra
it could be
penalties.
yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
going to be one of those games.
Is there going to be extra time or is it just going straight to
I
penalties?
don't know.
It's probably extra time, I'd imagine.
Fair enough. Because I would say I feel like the Palmeiras Botafogo game could easily be decided on penalties.
Yeah.
Because that game could be a 4-4 or a 0-0. Like it could be one of the best games we see, or it could be one of the worst. And I think that game would be decided on something like that. But I'm gonna say Flamengo win it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everything. Next time we're gonna know, and the games would have started already.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like, subscribe, share, comment who you think's gonna win the tournament, because at this point it could be anyone. And yeah, thank you for watching. We will see you next episode.